bet you didn't know that you can sublimate on Dollar Tree canvas, and it's super easy. On this episode of the 12 Days of Craftmas, we are diving into sublimation. I love sublimation. It's super easy, it's a lot of fun, and normally the projects end up looking really cool. If you don't own a sublimation printer, then you can order the sublimation transfers off of multiple websites online. But I just think it ends up looking really cool, and I'm excited to do this project. So I printed out a few different designs here. We got some very vintage, classic Christmas signs, and it's just gonna be, honestly, a lot of fun. I generated these with my custom ChatGPT bot Sublimation Buddy, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. All right, so I have my sublimation mat down here and a piece of parchment paper over it just to protect it. And then let's open up this canvas. And the nice thing is this is only $1.25. So this is gonna work really well because it's not the frame canvas, it's just a solid canvas. All right, and we can move that to the side. And then I think let's start with this one. This one is vertical and not horizontal. So let's trim up some of the white space and then we will tape it down. The colors look really muted right now, but once it's pressed, all that color is going to transfer and look pretty good on this canvas. I think I'm actually going to test not cutting it. And also my artwork is not perfect. These two corners don't have any artwork in it, but I think that'll be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that down first. And then I'm going to take my canvas and I am just going to line it up to my artwork as best as I can. All right, and that looks absolutely amazing. And then I have my sublimation tape here and I can just pull some pieces and I'm going to put it on the back and kind of just gently push it in to the artwork. I don't want to do anything crazy, but just enough so that the artwork is not going to move once we flip this over. And it doesn't matter if you use the thick tape or the thin tape. So I'm going to carefully flip this over and I'm going to try and not move anything too much. So for this, we're going to do a crazy amount of firm pressure to make sure all the ink gets transferred. All right, so let's set our settings here. Temperature, we're gonna be 400, and time, I am gonna do, oh, too much. Let's do 100 seconds. That seems about right. And then it's a larger design, so I'm gonna have to kind of do it in sections, which I think that might be the only reason why this fails. This might be something where you need a bigger heat press, but I really wanted to try it with the mini Makerflow press first. Honestly, I love Makerflow's sublimation products. It works out really well. The key with a project like this is be patient. I personally really struggle with that, but I'm gonna try really hard to not be impatient and make sure I get the whole part of the design. Press down. What's nice too is how I've laid this out is I can easily take my parchment paper and have it ready to go as a barrier so none of that ink gets on my little heat press. You don't have to do that step. I just had a really big piece of parchment paper that I had gotten from Ninja Transfers. All right, our heat press is ready to go. And I'm gonna do this top section first, and then I'll hit the timer, and I'm gonna put both my arms and literally as much of my body weight as possible on this to get firm pressure. Just make sure you're not burning yourself or anything. And one thing too with sublimation, you wanna make sure your press is not gonna slide around because then you could get ghosting. Also, sublimation can sometimes smell, so make sure you're in a well-ventilated area or you have the proper PPE on. This is absolutely one of my favorite presses to use. It's a perfect size. Also, I forgot to put the cover sheet over the transfer, so hopefully no ink fell out. All right, our timer went off, and so we can do the next. You can see that sublimated beautifully. Let's start our timer, and hopefully the same thing will happen. If possible, do this with a whole big heat press if you can. It'll just make your life a lot easier. But that's a good sign that we can see the design through the paper already, which means I think it's definitely on the press itself as well. One thing that you really want to try to keep in mind too is that this paper doesn't fold up like how I have mine. So I might potentially get some ghosting in that area. So nice firm pressure. All right, and now I can do this last section over here. See all that smoke that comes up, which is why I keep saying make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. I am in the garage, and so I have the garage door open, so I'm fine and protected. But definitely something you want to think about, especially if you're doing any of these crafts with kids. But it's a good sign when we see all this color coming out. All right, and then now we can do this last part. I want to try to not get too much of the other design. So I'm going to have it kind of hanging off a little bit, but still doing that same amount of pressure. So really, I think if you just do this for 1.5 minutes, I think that's fine. All right, and then our last little section here. All right, and we're almost done with this first one. I have a pretty good feeling about this. I think it's going to look cool. All right, let me know down below. Do you think this worked or do you think this flopped? I guess it's kind of not fair because you would have seen from the thumbnail if it worked or not. All right, let's see if we can take a peek. Oh my goodness. Whoa, I did not expect that underneath though. All right, I guess it's very steamy. All right, so be careful with the tape as it could take off the backing. Now parts of this are not that hot anymore because we've done this in sections, but so definitely wear gloves if yours is still hot. All right, so good to know to not put that much tape on it because it will take up this like paper backing. All right, you guys ready for the rib? That part was hot. All right. Okay, that looks pretty cool. And you can see here, a lot of the ink has been transferred. The only part I didn't quite get well was the bottom of the lamppost and then part of the A, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I think it looks actually really good. We might spray like a polycrylic or something or a lacquer to kind of seal it all in. But you definitely don't have to. So it did warp a little bit because of the heat. So if you don't want that, just lay something heavy on it while it cools down. And you can see there in the corner is where we didn't quite have that artwork all the way to the edge. Honestly, this is a pretty cool and awesome and cheap project. All right, let's do the other two that we have. All right, we have our next transfer ready to go. And then remember, if you are printing out your own sublimation, you want it reversed. That way, when it gets pressed, you'll actually be able to read your text. All right, so I just made this artwork a little bit oversized. These things are just over 8.5 by 10 frames. And so I think I did the artwork like 8.25. So just something to keep in mind. So I'm gonna get some shorter pieces of tape this time. I want to really make sure that's gonna be locked in so it doesn't move around. Honestly, I just love how cool this is gonna be. All right, let's carefully pick up our artwork here. All right, let's set this down. And I'm gonna remember this time to actually put this down. All right, and then we can start pressing. And then I'm gonna do nice firm pressure. And then I'm not gonna make you watch me press each part of this one again, so I'm just gonna click my fingers. Now we are done. I'm such an idiot. I did not flip this over. All right, well, all that hard work for nothing. All right, well, now we can do that a whole second time because that is an absolute bummer that happened. All right, round two. Don't be like me and just pay attention to what you're doing. So annoyed with myself right now. All right, so obviously this took twice as long because I messed up, but when you do it, you are gonna be smarter than me and it will not take you this long. All right, we are done. I think because I messed this one up, I think we're only gonna do 2 and I'm not gonna do the third one. But I think that's okay. But we'll have the artwork available down below. All right, looks like there's a lot of color that seeped out, so I think we'll be okay. So let's flip it over, remove this tape. I don't think the back should matter too much. All right, moment of truth. Do you think this one worked even though we did it wrong the first time? That looks amazing. This one I think is my favorite one. All right, we'll let it cool off and then we'll spray a protective finish on it and call it a day. But I call this a success. All right, we got our artwork here. We have some polycrylic. Not sure how this will go. Barnaby's here to help. All right, and then we'll just let that dry. Well, this thing came out looking totally awesome. I'm super obsessed with how this looks, and I love that this costs $1.25. I guess if you count the sublimation transfer, then probably $2 maybe. That's not including all the equipment, obviously. But I mean, if you have a little heat press, you can buy like a $2 transfer from someone, and then you can sublimate on this. I love how this looks. It'd be much easier if you use like an actual clamshell press or an auto press. I definitely need to get an auto press at some point. But honestly, it's just a really cool way to make some unique Christmas decor on a budget. And honestly, I think it looks like it was more than $1.25, but that's just my opinion. Let me know down below if you have any comments or questions about what we did today. And guys, don't forget to enter our giveaway with MakerFlow. You could win a sublimation oven. All the links will be down below. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. I should have put jingle bells. Right? Sleigh bells ring. Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. Missed opportunity, guys.